Hello and welcome to a new Let's Play of a very simple game that came out many years ago, back in the late 80s. But this is a remake of it that has quite a few changes, some that I'm fond of, some that I'm not fond of. And that is the first Final Fantasy game. But we'll talk about that game's flaws later. And let's talk about its good things as we start it. And you may notice that it says Final Fantasy 1 and 2. Well, that's because they came in a bundle when it first came out. This is a remake for both of them on the Game Boy. Final Fantasy. So I'm just going to show you my previous game just because this is where I was when I first started. Yeah, I'm a pretty absurd level. Absurd. So as you can see, you start the game, you get to pick your classes. So, whenever I play this game and whenever I replayed it, I never chose the thief. In both of my playthroughs, I never chose the thief. So, I think I'm gonna choose him for this playthrough. Not for a real reason, just because I want to see if he's good. So I'm picking the warrior because everyone picks the warrior. I'm picking black mage because I think he's a kind of underrated class. Everyone says that in Final Fantasy 1 the black mage is pretty much useless because the physical fighters can out damage him if you get him high level enough. But I still want to give this little guy a try because he never gets a good chance. And the red mage, he can learn both black magic and white magic, but only on low levels. Low levels of those magic. But that's fine. And my final slot will go to the I really don't want to pick the... Oh wait, I didn't pick the thief yet. Alright, let's pick the thief. So this is our class. Warrior, black mage, red mage, and thief. And since these characters don't have any canon names given by Squaresoft, I can name them whatever I want. So, okay, so I've named these guys many things throughout my 2 playthroughs. But I think in this playthrough I'm gonna name the warrior. Bonds, because I don't know. I'm naming my black mage. I don't know why, but I always just thought this name fit the black mage. Whismer. I always named the red mage Lance because of how he wears red and has a cape like Lance from Pokemon. So am I the only one that thinks he looks like that? And I'm gonna name the thief, I actually don't know. I've never picked this one. I'm naming you Fasto, because you're a thief and I'm assuming that you're fast. This is a terrible name. I don't think anyone's ever named him something this stupid, but let's go. Bonds, Whismer, Lance, and Fasto. Let's go. Begin game with this party? Yes. Also, once you pick your party, you can't change it, so you better enjoy what you have. The world lies shrouded in darkness. The winds die The seas rage. The earth decays. But the people believe in a prophecy, patiently awaiting its fulfillment. When darkness veils the world, 4 warriors of light shall come. After a long journey, 4 young travelers did at last appear. And in the hand of each was clutched a crystal. And we start the game. So guys, as I mentioned in my announcement for this Let's Play, the entire game, these characters are silent. This was a game that came out in the late 80s on the NES. I mean, you can't expect too much of a story. But I know I shouldn't be saying this because I was born in 2003, but this game, from what I've seen of NES RPGs, actually had a pretty freaking epic story for NES RPG. Not the best, but good. My opinion, the best NES Final Fantasy is Final Fantasy II, which is an extremely unpopular opinion, but whatever. So first, we shall go to the King's Palace, Castle Cornelia, and talk. Gosh darn it. The king is searching for the prophesied warriors of light. Those crystals, could it be? Yep, so this is where you save, which I'm just going to be using save states really, so it's kind of useless. Config, where you can change stuff. I'm changing my message speed to 1, so, because at 3 it goes pretty gosh darn slow. Okay, so my sister, I want my sister. So I mean, just because this game doesn't really have that much of a story is kind of the reason why I'm not really gonna try to do voices. The king is searching for the prophesied words of light. Those crystals, could it be? Oh wait, am I? Hey, look, it's Edgar from Final Fantasy VI. Is it just me? I mean, Final Fantasy fans. If you're not a Final Fantasy fan, compare this guy to Edgar from Final Fantasy VI. Does he not look like him? Or maybe even the scholars from Final Fantasy V. Garland was once the greatest knight in the kingdom, but power consumed him and he lost sight of who he really was. And yeah, I kinda wish this game did have more of a story, because I don't know why, I have a feeling that if a bit more effort was put into the story, Garland could have been a great villain. Please save Lady Sarah. Seriously, I mean, he could have been, like, maybe not Kefka. I mean, he doesn't seem like the kind of guy to be like Kefka. The king is searching for the prophet's words of lights. Those crystals could it be? Come in the room. Welcome, travelers. I am told you carry crystals. Is this true? Yeah. It's just as Lucan's prophecy foretold. When darkness veils the world, 4 warriors of light shall come. Your Majesty, we cannot be certain that these are the warriors foretold by the prophecy. Yet they stand before us with the crystals. I cannot dismiss this as mere coincidence. Crystal bearers, there's a task I would ask of you. Will you not rescue my daughter, Sarah? Garland, a knight once in His Majesty's service, has abducted Princess Sarah. I ask for your aid in the name of His Majesty, the King of Cornelia. Garland has taken refuge in the Chaos Shrine, which lies to our north. Of course, we did not attempt to save the princess ourselves, but Garland is the finest swordsman in the kingdom. We have none who can match him. Well, I mean, technically we only have 2 swordsmen in our group, so I don't think... I have heard that you wish to journey to the continent to our north. The bridge leading north was long lost ago, making passage impossible. If you can rescue Sarah, I will have the bridge rebuilt as a sign of my gratitude. Go now, Warriors of Light, and do not fail me! And our story begins. Or maybe our non-existent story. Also, there's a little secret place in this castle, but I'll show you that later. And before we go fighting any best swordsmen around, maybe we should buy something. Restore the crystals to Grace. You'll be hearing that quote a lot in this game. Oh, please, you must rescue the princess. Sage Lucan said something about finding the crescent moon. Then he just up and left town. As people usually do. Yes, let me mention one of the positives about this version of the game. Its soundtrack is so good. Seriously. I mean, I wouldn't say it's as good as the PSP soundtrack, but it's still really good. So, everyone can use chainmail except for the thief and the black mage. I can deal with that. And one for you. And, wow, the black mage can't get anything so far. That kind of sucks for him. So, one neat little thing about this version of the game, too, which also in the PSP version, is that you can just click on Optimal that just puts on all the best stuff, which is pretty cool. Oh yeah, he doesn't have anything yet. Alright, so now that we're done here, we can go buy some stuff. Now, lots of people that have played this game before might be wondering, why didn't you pick the monk? Well, because he is extremely overpowered. Seriously. In my opinion, the monk is one of the most the monk from Final Fantasy 1 is one of the most overpowered classes in any Final Fantasy game. He just does so much damage so early in the game. Like, at the very beginning, he's not too good, but after just maybe an hour or 2 into the game, he's your best party member without a doubt. Besides his below average defense, he's amazing. Oh. Okay, so we're gonna buy a staff for the black mage, because that's the only thing you can really use at the moment. And... so, attack. Okay, so... I don't even know why the hammer's there. I mean, it costs the same as the rapier, and the rapier's better. Okay, so time to equip ourselves. Whismer, Lance, and Fasto. Now, one more place we should probably go before we go. These places. These are magic shops. They let you buy spells. Yes, unlike lots of other future Final Fantasy games, such as 6 and 4, you actually buy spells in this game. Which is interesting. Honestly, before Final Fantasy 1, I honestly never played an RPG that worked like this. But that's fine. Not that bad. So I'm giving the fire spell to Whismer here. Okay, so another thing, one thing I don't like about this game, is actually a thing with all the Final Fantasy ones. The original, this one, and the PSP remake. status affecting spells don't matter, except for the ones that you know, buff you. Besides buffing spells, status effects are pretty much useless. That's really sense of. One other thing I don't like about this game, it is too easy. Never did I think I would say a Final Fantasy game is too easy, but this version is way too easy. Now, don't get me wrong, the original version of Final Fantasy 1 was brutal, but this is just wow. And our first battle. So as you can see, this is about as simple as an RPG battle system you can get. Attack, which lets you attack physically. Magic, which our warrior can't use. Items, which lets you use items. And equip, which lets you equip stuff in the middle of the battle, which is actually very useful at times. And flee. Now, one kinda unique thing about this battle system is that when you press flee, it's not like something like Earthbound, where only Ness can flee, and if he fails, then you suck. No, you can actually make party members flee separately, which is kind of cool, because if you don't want to risk fully fleeing, you can just have maybe 2 of your party members try to flee, and then have the rest attack in case it doesn't work. So these are goblins, in my opinion, the most classic Final Fantasy enemy. And they die in one hit. I'm pretty sure they die in one hit no matter what. Oh yes, and also for you guys that maybe didn't know, let me get in another battle real quick. Wolves. Now, they do a bit more damage than goblins. Actually, they don't. Oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. So yes, you probably heard this song before. I don't know if it's just me, but before I played Final Fantasy 1, I had no idea where this song came from. But now I know. Bonds gained a level. Also, one kinda good but also bad thing about this game is that every person has the same experience gaining level. No class gains different experience than another. So unless one of your party members dies sometime in the game, you don't revive them before the battle, or they get stoned, they're not really gonna, you know. God damn it. This is the Earthgift Shrine. Long ago ye could enter, but the way's been shut, sign, and the land began to decay. Not too bad. So yeah, that's actually a hidden dungeon which we can't access until a bit later. God. And skeletons. These are the first enemies that might kinda be hard. Not really though. I mean, they do actual damage. That's impressive. But they're not very good. So before I get up there, I'm gonna heal. Which I can't because I forgot to buy potions. But whatever. The king will have no choice but to exchange the kingdom for his daughter's life. Cornelia will be mine! Who's there? Humph, the king's lapdogs. Why did I skip that? You really think you have what it takes to cross swords with me? Very well. I, Garland, will knock you down. One of the most iconic Final Fantasy quotes, without a doubt. Goes up there with the legend of You Spoony Bard for me. Oh yes, I love this theme. It sucks that this theme only plays 3 times during 3 extremely easy boss battles, and this is one of those extremely easy boss battles. I mean, he's the first boss, what do you expect? So basically, the strategy to this boss battle is not really much of a strategy. Just beat him down and you'll eventually beat him. Fire. Oh, wait, I have a cure spell. Alright. Okay. Now, throughout the game, the thief, the red mage, and the warrior are gonna be our main damage dealers. Mainly the warrior. Lots of the time, we might use the red mage for support. Oh, I'm already out of magic? What's my... wait a minute. Oh, okay, I see what you're getting at. Alright. And he's down. We get more XP, get Gil, and we level up. HP increased by 5, Stamina increased, Wisma, HP increased, MP increased, Lance, HP increased, MP increased, Agility increased, Fasto, HP increased, Agility increased, of course. Where am I? You've come to rescue me. I don't know how I could ever thank you. I'm Sarah, Princess of Cornelia. That's the first time anyone's ever defeated Garland, which is kind of pathetic. I mean, what's our kingdom's army like? You must allow me to show my gratitude. Please accompany me to Castle Cornelia. Thank you for returning my daughter to my side. There is no doubt that you are the warriors from Lucan's prophecy. You should hear the prophecy in its entirety, if I may. When darkness veils the world, 4 warriors of light shall come. If they cannot gather the shards of light, the darkness will consume all. The 4 crystals will never shine again. Now I hear that a crystal can be found on the continent to our north. Restoring to light to the crystals is our only hope for ridding the world of the monsters which plague it. I will have the bridge to the north rebuilt, as I promised. I pray that you succeed in restoring light to the 4 crystals and to the world. Wait just a moment. Ah yes, she has a key item for us. This loot has been entrusted to Princesses of Cornelia for many years. I want you to have it. It may aid you in your journey. Also, I like the key. I like the major item imitating theme for this game. I don't know why. It's just... It reminds me of the Legend of Zelda one, but it's just almost more epic. You obtain the loot. And there they are, building the bridge as the king promised. Drawbridge. Yes, my servants. Orders from His Majesty. We're to do our part to fulfill Lucan's prophecy. Edgar, I thought you were nicer than this. Come on, man, I mean. How do you go to having a castle that can dig underground to having a bit of trouble building a bridge? What does this bridge have to do with the prophecy? The 4 warriors of light are here. They're here in Cornelia. Goblin guards. They're slightly harder versions of goblins. Not much more hard, but still kind of hard. Now, you may be noticing that I said the warrior would be our main damage dealer, but he's not doing very much damage. That's because he doesn't have many hits yet, which I'll explain in the next episode. And so their quest began. As the four warriors of light, they felt overwhelmed by the great task destiny had placed before them. They did not even know the true significance of the four crystals they held in their hand. Hands, I mean. The crystals that once, long ago, held a light that shone so brilliantly. The time for their journey had come. The time to cast off the veil of darkness and bring the world once more into light. I don't know why, but the silhouettes in the background are just so epic to me. I mean, they make the characters look so much more epic than they actually are. And roll credits. They did the thing. They set the title. And this is the end of the video. See you next time. We'll be talking to some townspeople, fighting some pirates, and even fighting some new enemies. See you later.